Meeting to order at 12:06. A motion to waive the prior minutes. I don't even know if they were circulated.
No, because did we take minutes at the budget meeting? Probably not. And
We didn't take minutes there or at the social. I don't know if Robert took minutes at the annual meeting. I think
do
he
not know.
did. So we have no choice but to waive the reading of the minutes. So let's move forward with officer reports. I'm going to ask Nell to talk first because Nell circulated this morning our proposed SunBiz annual report. And also the other day, she circulated the budget. So Nell, you tell me what to put on the share screen. You want your financials up there first, or you want the SunBiz thing up there first?
SunBiz would be first. That is quick. Very straightforward. A few changes from last year. And that would be that the title of secretary is proposed to be Peter Quinter. Myself as treasurer, Monica as VP, of course, Michael as president, and then directors Marvin, Bruce, and Joe Siegel.
Okay, and I gotta first find our SunBiz thing.
Well, if it's not necessary, if no one has any comments outside of that was what was proposed. I know Michael brought up the fact of directors should have votes, but it's not clear to us whether our bylaws require us to make a change to bylaws. Well, he stated that he had gone through them, and our bylaws don't state that you need to be an actual officer to be a voting member. So that's something that we should finalize and discuss how we want to handle that.
Unless anybody wants to go back and review the Constitution and bylaws again, and they're on our website, so you can read them. But I say going forward, everybody who's been voted as a director should have a vote in at our board meetings. That's what directors do. They vote, and they, just because they're an officer is kind of the workhorse, taking direction from all the directors. Okay, so Peter's signing in.
Ah,
All right. So one thing I want to clear up, as soon as Peter, I imagine he can hear us.
Yes, I hear.
Great. So Peter and Bruce, it wasn't clear to me the roles that you guys have as directors in terms of title as an officer. So we have proposed Peter as the secretary. That's kind of my recollection when we discussed this loosely, but I don't know if we ever had a vote. And Bruce, it was really, I wasn't sure if you wanted to be secretary. So Bruce, you want to chime in?
If nobody else is willing to, I would be secretary. I would take recorded. I would take a recording of the meeting and summarize it. But that's
That's fine with
lack
me.
of an. I'm sorry.
All right, so let's change that now. Bruce will be secretary.
okay,
And
thank you.
And moving forward,
Yes, thank
again,
you, Bruce.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, so it's just somebody has to get me the recording.
Do you know how to, on the bottom of your Zoom,
You
let me
click
see
record.
here. Do you have that button that says record?
No.
So
It's already
there's a
recording.
section
Oh,
that
yes.
says more.
Yeah.
I'm recording it, so, but he could record it too. It's faster.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
to send a request. All right,
Yeah.
I'm sending the request to you, Michael.
All right. So, Peter, what I wanted to clarify is that everybody who's a director and voted as a director is a voting member of the board. We've had traditionally, since I got on, it was just 4 officers were voting, and maybe Marvin, which I never understood if Marvin officially had a vote. But
I was listed as the webmaster. I think that's right.
yeah, I don't know if you had a vote, whatever, but all directors should be voting.
Should have
I
a vote
understand.
for being webmaster.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
it,
even-
What does the
it was
Constitution
prior
provide?
to, prior to your being
Um,
president, it was.
Does
The
the bylaws
Constitu-
say anything about that?
Yeah, it doesn't say only the officers can vote. The bylaws set the number of directors. I don't know if it was up to 9 or 7, but it didn't say they can't vote. That's where it threw me off. And I haven't been on a board before where you're a director and you can't vote. And that was an issue we had even when I got on, I couldn't understand, for example, Joe, why you couldn't vote. And then Peter was told last year he couldn't vote. Or the year before. So anyway, moving on now. That's how you'll do the report, put Bruce in as secretary. All our names are directors, but his title will be secretary.
Okay,
Can you talk
Thank you.
about the financials?
okay, so financials. These were when I sent out from our budget meeting. Is that what you're referring to?
In December, you sent out. So let me, I have the profit year to date on the shared screen. Can you see that, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
So unfortunately, I'm not in a dual
No, that's all right.
screen, but
So,
so you can see the income from December. And now I'll turn it over to you. Thanks.
bear with me. Yeah, I'm pulling this up right now. I'm a little
Now
handicapped
this, while
today.
you're pulling, that's okay. While you're pulling this up, this is the same, nothing's changed since we went through in the meeting at Prosperity, right? When we
No.
okay.
No.
I was just, because I have that
Nothing.
sheet too, so I just wanted to check. So that's
That,
all.
this is, so you put up the profit and loss with the year-to-date comparison. Okay. Right, so yeah, so, here's what we have for, income. As you can see, we get the big bump from people renewing. That's why we got the, gross profit of 3,128 in December. And then you see January to December, the $15,333.97. We contributed $2,100. That was to the Bicycle League and Florida Bicycle Association. We had expenses of $73,6404. Our insurance, which we will be renewing again in February, was $2,600 or $2,700, $2,695.
That's dirty on there, don't put that on there. That.
So total expenses were $20,850.03. And we had a net operating income of 5,000 minus $5,516.06.
Don't let them in. Don't sit on the other part.
I also had sent, let's see if I can find it, went for our budget meeting. I had gone through, oh, you want to go through the profit and loss? So,
No, whatever you want to do. I'm just switching.
all right.
So,
We
or I had
usually-
this, the balance sheet.
Okay, let's go to the balance sheet. Is anything? Okay, so our total assets, this was it as of December 31st, was, total assets were $43,505.69. And, that's, and our net income, we had was a negative, as we know, because this was part offset last year by our Jersey income. So this is why we're landing with this much less in our account as of right now. Today we have $371.13 at Regions as we accumulate a couple more people renewing their membership. Like I said, insurance will be due in February. It's going to be approximately $3,000. I anticipate there will be some increase in that. At our last meeting, we did review our budget versus actual. And we need to finalize that for the 2024 budget, which I will do after this meeting. So I have not finalized that, but I think we went through where we wanted to be. Let's see if Michael, do you have that located any place? Let's see, financials 2023, budget versus actual.
I have what you sent me
Yes.
of the year today or the
Budget
comparison.
budget versus actual for the
I
budget
don't know
meeting.
if you sent that. I just posted what you sent in the email. a
Very
few days
good.
ago.
Very good. Okay. So, I can't, unfortunately, I'll send this. I'll send this out after the meeting. We have, we budgeted about $8,300 in expenses. We came up with about necessary required expenses like our tax preparation and phone, etc. Came in with $8,200. Required expenses for different, for social and events. We had budgeted $10,250. We came in with $11,626. So our expenses in total were 19,831 as opposed to what our proposed was 18,600. So it wasn't very much different. So and income, of course, because we did not have Jersey sponsorship, was $12,963 as opposed to what was originally in, which included this Jersey sponsorship of 18,000. So it's just we're just about even, except for about $5,000.
Okay, thanks. I know we've taken on a few new projects. So I don't know if, I think we need to get that budget circulated again. I thought we approved it, really. I just wanted to find out, didn't we approve it at that meeting at the Prosperity?
It wasn't a finalized budget. We said
Okay, well-
directionally it was, and so we need to look at this and make
All right, so
sure.
send that
Yes.
to the group, and then we can make comments on it.
Right.
Any
There's-
changes, because I know the things we had to add, like the $4,800 for the bike race this
Yeah.
spring.
Right. So we
And
have that, and what expenses we may have with the raffle.
right. Well, hopefully
Which we-
none on the raffle.
We did want to
And-
run ads on Instagram and
Okay.
wherever.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit later. So the financials, when you showed the income in December, where do we stand with membership from January 1 to today? Besides the $40 that's on my table. Did we?
It was
Marvin,
a
do you know?
small amount, so we had about, let's see. I was just on that, so let's see if I can log back in. Log in again. I'm logging back into regions. We just received a couple more memberships. It wasn't very much more in January. Let's see. To date, it was an additional, oh, yeah, 900. So there was an additional $900 that came in January. Our total, I'm going into the bike club right now. Total
Hundred and
membership.
eighty-two,
What'd you
Okay,
say,
thank
Marvin?
182 active members as of the moment.
Okay, and Mel,
That
can you
includes
tell,
family.
do you know how many donations we received from at the time of renewal?
I do
Is
not
it-
have that information right now.
Yeah.
No, I can get
Alright.
that.
Thanks. Okay, anybody have questions?
Just curious of how many new versus renewals we've had over the year. Do we have that stat, or I don't know if we do or not?
You have to dig into the site.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be good to track if there's any way, if I can help with that, Marv, it'd be great to just to track.
New versus renewal.
Yeah, new versus renewal. How many renewals we have from past, from last year, how many are we doing? And then how many new folks we have coming on would be good to know, because that's how we can tell how we're growing, right? New membership. So if there's
Yes.
anything I can do to help with that, Marv, let me
Great.
know. 'Cause I'd be
Yeah.
happy. I think that'll be
So,
important.
Marvin, she has access to the control panel, yes?
Yes, I think everybody does, except for Peter.
Okay. Monica, I can also show you how to
Oh, you have
run
to
some of those reports.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be
So
really
that-
helpful. I didn't know we
to
could.
do, yeah, to do the calculation. 'Cause
Perfect.
yeah, there's a little cleanup you have to do, but it'll give you a good direction.
And
Okay. Thank
in
you.
there, there's also under help or support, there's videos on everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Clearly, I have not navigated around enough. Thank you. Yeah, Nell, I'll reach out to you on that.
Okay, great.
Okay, I think I posted the agenda on the screen, so let's go next to our new secretary. Bruce, thank you. Anything to report?
No, I've been secretary for about 6 minutes, so
Thanks. All right.
you've all been witness to what's happened in the last 6 minutes, so that's what
wanna
I
hear
say.
I want to hear the recording. I know how you guys Photoshop stuff. All right, Monica,
Is there
you have
any
the floor.
updates to there? I saw the response from the city manager. Is there any follow-up from that
From DOT, you mean?
or the DOT? Yes.
Bruce, you want to comment on that? Because I think Bruce knows the lead manager on that.
I've spoken with him. I've spoken with him a number of times he's led the meetings about the repaving that's going to be starting this spring on A1A. But I don't know if everybody's aware. I'm the board's or the club's representative on this VZAC committee, Division Zero committee that advises the Palm Beach County Transportation Authority. And we meet once a month generally. Nell is the alternate, and she's been to a couple of meetings as well. They have DOT representatives there, and this what's his name, Brad
Salisbury.
Salisbury. Yeah, he often comes to explain what's in the pipeline for DOT projects. So I'll hopefully he'll be there on the February meeting. We didn't have a January one, and I'll grab him and shake him down for some action. There are other DOT representatives there as well. And I'll see what I can do to get something working through the Palm Beach Transportation Authority as well. But
So-
as of right now, there's been no response. So
Okay. And Bruce,
it's
Michael, or
gotta go,
anyone
it's gotta
else?
go up the chain of command
Of course.
over there, and you know, it's just you just anticipate you know, either inaction or pushback. So
Okay. What about the status of the medical condition of the group of bicyclists that was hit on A1A? Does anyone know their condition today?
this morning, Kimberly Hogan Benton was on the right, and she said that that everybody was released from the hospital.
All right, good news.
So there's a lot of rehab going to be in store for Ricardo and Diego, I guess. Diego broke his femur. I don't know these people. These are just you know, the names she attached.
Mark Greenberg told me this morning that the driver actually went over the other lane to avoid cyclists in her lane.
Interesting to hear their police report.
Yeah, that's probably what her attorney told her.
I don't know. Just
Michael,
saying.
you could comment on what attorneys tell their clients. Peter?
It's just what I heard.
We don't tell them, I don't tell them make up a story. So we pretty much just don't say anything because she's facing she could be facing criminal charges.
Yeah.
They clam up. All right, well, that's good to hear they're out of the hospital. Is there a way we can yeah. Okay. So Monica, I'm gonna give you the floor
Thank
for
you.
so it's all you now.
Okay, yep, I
Vice
just wanted, thank you. I just wanted to put out for our ride and eat, wanted to lock in Saturday, January 27th. If there's no opposition to that, is there any reason that date wouldn't work for us? And I assume we want to do it from our same location, Wyman Park.
Yeah, that'll be fine. I
Okay.
won't be in town that Saturday. But I'm just one rider.
Okay.
Date was that?
Saturday, January 27th.
Oh, 7th, okay.
You're open to other dates, but that one seemed to be one that would work
No, we should really do it in January.
well. So okay, so then we'll go with the 27th. Or
What time, because I know the park opening is a problem.
I would, you know, I know we normally, what do we do, like pedals up, because the park doesn't open until 8, I think. Is that right, Bruce? If I'm remembering, it's been a while since we've done our ride and eat, so we couldn't do it till like at least an 8:15 or something, right?
Yeah, they say 8, but they're usually
open.
open earlier.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you can count on that. So,
Well, and it is winter, so I think we're okay temperature wise, but could we do an 8:15 pedals up versus
Okay.
8? And then that way we're, I'm all for earlier, but I don't want to commit to something if we can't count on the park being open. So I think an 8:15 we could make that work.
8:15 is fine. Just get the messaging out that, you know, there'll be a turnaround in either, is it going to be Palm Beach, Lake Worth, Delray, that kind
I
of.
think we do I think if we do the Lake Worth, we're going to have more participants just from, you know, folks riding in that. I don't know that everybody would want to go up to Palm Beach and back. And I don't know that I mean, we could coordinate multiple distances. It's just then I would need, you know, instead of just AB. Well, I mean, I guess we could do if we did an ABC group, and A group goes, we can talk about that. I guess we need to iron that out if we put it out there, right? So we'd need, I'd need ride leads then for that, unless we just do a Lake Worth and turn around and back.
You could do a C up to the inlet.
We could do a Lake
Point.
Worth AB and then a C to the inlet.
You know, or else up to that other place. By Manalapan, that bridge. I forgot what road that is. That's the other ocean.
I think the Boynton Inlet is a better turnaround just because it gives
Yeah.
people a safe spot to go into and regroup and turn around and come back. So. Okay, we'll go with C. Is everybody okay with that?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's like an
Good.
AB is Lake Worth and a
Worth.
C is inlet.
And then and I'll coordinate to get Marshall to lead us up. I'm sure Bruce will, not you, Bruce, but the other Bruce, Clipson, will be happy to, he usually is to,
Marshall.
in that. So we'll
And
get
you'll
that,
need,
marshaling, yes.
you'll need volunteers and a budget to get the before and after food. So Marvin, I guess you want to post it on the website.
Yep.
The date, the pedals up time 8:15. And
I'll ask for
Um,
volunteers.
food and drink, yeah, I always ask for volunteers. People actually, you'll get a few. Food and drink available to club members. Donations always welcome. You know,
Perfect.
I don't remember last time if anybody threw money in, but like on those July 4th rides, we raised like 40, $80. You know, when it's a few dollars to cover the food.
Yeah, and I
Are
think
we gonna ask for a few dollars to join the ride?
Not for non-members, you mean, or for members?
Or anybody?
Yeah, last time we had a kitty, I think.
I'd like to make everyone pay, like $5 at least. If you get 50 riders, what do you think we would get, Monica? 40, 50 riders?
Yeah, I think that's what we got about last time we did the riding. It was about 40 some, low 40s.
Yeah.
So
But we
you
didn't
raise a
charge
couple,
anybody anything
Yeah.
either, so.
I'm thinking you shouldn't charge members, because like the selling point for the club, which is all the discounts we get on the rides and the ride and eat rides that we give away for free and the Christmas party.
Yeah,
So,
and we try to use
Is
these
right.
ride and eats to get people to bring friends that would be interested in the club who ride to come and check out the club, and it's an opportunity to come ride with us and check it out and have time to talk with people afterwards, see if they want to join.
I
So,
agree. And so just say donations welcome,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Little
all.
pot that
And
people-
it's hard to track with our group. It seems hard to know who paid, who's showing up. We don't really have a check-in system.
Well, what we
You
can
know,
do
if
is
Ro- if
ask them to
Rob-
register for the ride and eat. We do that, and usually, but what usually happens is most people register, the sort of last minute, day or two beforehand, and,
Yeah.
but.
All right, so January 27th.
Yep.
Any discussion on that? Any other questions? No. Peter's left the meeting if you saw his chat.
And
Um,
I had another item, Mike, before you.
no,
move
I
on.
know, we're not done with you. I'm just
Oh,
moving
right.
on from the ride and eat. Okay,
Let me
go ahead.
check the calendar to see if there's any other groups that are having something that day or charity rides.
I
Oh,
didn't
that's a
see.
good
I
point.
didn't see
but I don't
anything.
know. Right, nothing pops up on my calendar, but that doesn't mean I'm aware of everything that's happening out there, so I don't know.
I don't know if it affects anybody, but that evening is the no, it's the museum ball dinner, whatever. So there's
I think our members have been banned from those type of charity galas. Most people hate bike riders.
I don't know, I'm always welcome there, so.
Usually both the news.
Is it because of you or your wife? If it was for me, up to me, I'm always like, oh, you're here? But no, I'm not going. Maybe Dr. Casper will go. Okay, Monica, next.
The other thing I wanted to put out was social, so I'll solicit this out there. I thought we would alternate maybe socials and ride and eats. I know we were doing in the we were trying to do in the past, like monthly ride and eats and socials. So if we do a ride and eat, then a social, ride and eat, social, and alternate months, does that work for everybody? Any reason why we wouldn't want to do that? I mean, given we don't have something else, happening in that month, like Frank Stark ride or things like that, I don't want to over commit because we've got to stay within our budget. But I know we talked about that in our last meeting of doing more monthly get-togethers, be it ride and eat and socials. So I was going to propose a social for February. And if we wanted to try something new, the Cove Brewery has recently opened up in the past several months, and could be a nice opportunity to do a club social there, right in the Cove in Deerfield. Give us a new spot. I can say, hey, we want to do a social there, see if they might want to become a sponsor. I wanted to put that out there. Otherwise, we have other options, within the area. But I thought that might be an opportunity to bring in some different faces as well to come participate.
So what day of the week were you thinking?
I was thinking either the 8th or the 22nd, because the Thursday, the 15th is the day after Valentine's Day. I don't know if that really matters or not. So those 3 dates look like they're pretty good. It's the 8th, 15th, or the 22nd. So I'm open to, if anyone has any.
I think the sooner the better. Because it's season and we're getting people that coming in and out. So,
So February 8th or
yeah, that's what I suggest. I would say do it now, soon, the 8th.
okay.
February 8th, we're talking.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's Thursday, February 8th. And I'll just confirm, is everybody good with the, sorry about that. Is everybody good with the Cove Brewery as a change of venue?
Sure, if we can, yeah.
I can get
That'd
in
be
there.
nice.
I'll check with that.
I think it's a good idea, but I can't make either the 8th or the 15th, so.
Okay.
You can attend by Zoom, Bruce. If the Cleveland Browns go to the Super Bowl, I've been invited to go to the Super Bowl, so I would be
Oh,
out.
my.
But
So
the
you'll
likelihood of
be
that
at the,
happening,
so you'll
the
be at
Browns
the
have
social.
never. Yes, thanks, Bruce. Looks like I'll be at the social. Okay.
So,
Anything
and
else,
then-
Monica?
yeah, the one other thing is I'll get out this week. Sorry about that. I'll get out this week, a 6-month proposed social and ride and eat calendar for us all to look at. And then if we are good with it, we can get it posted all in advance so folks have more advance notice of events coming up in that. So
And
just be more
And
proactive.
so for planning, I can send you an email, I guess, of some of the members who said they'd like to help more.
Great.
And you tell them, you want to help pick up food for the ride and eat, from Publix or something. I don't know. You guys will figure it out. Anything else, Monica?
Nope, that was pretty much it, except for just Nell and I are gonna collaborate on getting the ladies' monthly ride back going, up and going again, so.
Yep.
We haven't had a chance to connect on that, so we will.
Yep.
Okay.
Who's the
Um,
VP
Another
now?
thing I would just like to raise with Monica is that the Cove Brewery, if they don't serve food, that may be a bit of a issue, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
But we've got Casa Maya, who is right around
Yes,
the corner
right
from
there.
them, and
Yeah.
I know Emilio, Emilio personally owns Casa Maya, so I thought maybe I could coordinate with him to say, hey, we're doing a social function
Ah,
club, could you do some tacos? We've got, they've got great tacos.
Mhm.
And I just thought it was a nice event, change of venue where we might, so
Yeah.
yes, I'm aware of the food thing. They do have a Asian, like it's Tom Tom's or something like that, that's right next door that does provide food over to the Cove. So there is a menu. They do have.
Good.
It's
Oh,
not
good.
them
Oh,
themselves,
that's good.
but it's a neighbor restaurant right there. So we will have food regardless.
Excellent.
I'll go with you to talk to Emilio. We've known him since he was at Senior Burrito.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Many
He's
moons.
a good guy.
Yeah. He's a great guy. We'll go have a little food and beverage and go see Emilio.
Okay.
Awesome.
Anything else, Monica?
No, I think that was pretty much it from a social
Okay.
and, ride needs, thanks.
So I'm gonna move on to Marv. I don't know if you have any updates on the web. I mean, it is what it
Really,
is, and
I had a question. Who is the VP now?
Monica.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I had is for the raffle for St. Jude's.
Right.
Now,
So
I checked, there is a ride for St. Jude's, so during the year.
Oh, there is. Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
put on by
Marvin,
some
you,
food company.
um,
But we could probably
But-
run our own. I don't know.
so what you sent me an email. Um, were you suggesting that one of our rides, maybe even if it's a ride and eat, that we make it as a fundraiser for St. Jude's, and then we have we sell raffle tickets, I guess, and I mean, is that something you would just like one ride
Well,
that we say, oh,
I happen to be, Christian said that one of us should check with St. Jude to make sure everything is on the up and up and how we do it. So I happened to go to the website and I saw that clubs do rides with St. Jude. So I was thinking that's a great idea to do it, ride with them, not necessarily with the raffle. I mean,
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
but there
But
is a
one of the
club
things
that does it back in October or September. Some food place did it out of Markham Park, I think.
All right.
But in either case, if we're gonna do the raffle or anything, we have to check with St. Jude and see how that works.
we have to talk to them, yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't just like, surprise. Yeah, we have to communicate with them.
I mean, it's a good idea to do that, but I think if we just said, here's a check for $20,000, they're not gonna say no.
Okay,
No, but
But-
they need to know that we're doing this, right?
Yeah.
Using them. I mean, we're gonna be using their name and on this,
because the
Okay.
website, as soon as you went to find out about anything, they wanted you to sign up, so that's why I was hesitant. There is an 800 number, I could give them a ring. See if we could just do the raffle
Yeah.
and then send them the check since we're a 501c.
Oh, you mean that? Yeah, if you can do that, that'd be great. And I didn't hear back from Christian. I thought he would, I guess basically is it Christian, just like, here's a car, you guys?
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's my concern, Michael, is that this is very hands-off and, I'm, this is dealing with money. I know it's a charitable organization. I know we are a charitable organization, but there's pieces and processes that need to be followed to get this done.
And we have to set up a Stripe account for the bank. Everybody
Right.
does it with Stripe.
Yeah, that's for the donations. But no, our club's already organized as a 501c3, so we can raise money and give it for charitable causes, however we see it. But I do agree with you that if we're gonna put a St. Jude's logo on our raffle page or whatever we set up, they need to get permission.
And he was talking
To use-
about having the car at like the Burger Fondo and selling
Right.
raffles there. And at one of the ride meets.
And do we
And-
have physical raffle tickets or is this all
It's gonna-
online?
No, it's
I'm
gonna have
not,
to be online.
I am completely I have no familiarity with this. I don't,
I mean, it's too much, it's a lot of work to do it both ways, so it would have to be all online for that program, right?
Yeah, we'll just make it online.
with
Christian was
QR
talking
codes.
about selling tickets, but I'm not, none of us are capable of. I mean, we could set up a table at Burger Fondo and say, here, sign up, buy a raffle ticket.
Or put a QR code on the
Yeah,
site.
scan the QR code and pick it, right?
Exactly. But
There are other things involved in this, like the transfer of title, who has ownership now, who will
Right.
get ownership afterwards, and the tax
And the-
implications.
the
Right.
tax
Do
implications.
we have to
to
take
do-
ownership to donate it? I mean,
Yeah, that's a
good question.
That's where I held
I
off.
just,
Count that.
you know, Christian, we're sponsoring it. He's made the donation. I don't want the club, I don't think the club should take title to a car. And then we're stuck with this car.
That's
We
all
gotta
these
have some
pieces.
sort of pledge from Christian that he's gonna honor, not that he wouldn't, but we sell all the tickets, we do the raffle, and Christian goes, I changed my mind. I want to keep my car.
Well, what if
So
we don't
that's a
get
good
the
point.
amount of money that we're looking to raise? That, the
Yeah,
value,
Yeah, let's say we raise $5,000, he goes, it's not worth it. Give them back
right?
their money.
And he
Yeah,
was talking about.
that's a headache. What a
Can't
headache.
do that. You can't, there's some real strict, this is the whole point, Michael, that I started to really think twice about this. This is not something simple. We don't have a big organization. We don't have a lot of people, and we can't do it hands off.
No, it's not hands off. I mean, it, you need, you need the legalities of it. I'm not too concerned about. I checked, I sent you and the accountant
Yes.
the statute, so we're okay. And then I have the proposed or draft raffle. So one of the things we have to do in our rules of the raffle is anybody can get one free ticket. So we set the price like 25 bucks for one, 100 for five. If I go to the website, Marvin, I'm allowed to register for one free ticket. That's the law in Florida. You can't have like these games of chance. So it's not a game of chance anymore. Anyone can get a ticket. So in case you guys see a raffle advertised, even these 50-50 raffles, if you're at the Dolphin game or Panther game, you can get a free ticket if you log in.
Hmm.
So that's what, so I think we're all covered there on the legality, but Bruce, Bruce points out, he goes, okay, how do you transfer title? There's a big element of trust there.
Yep.
It's almost easier if he does it. He sets up the Stripe account and we
Yep.
just help him sell the raffles.
Right.
Yep.
The QR
Right,
code.
so he has the
He's not a
liability.
501c3.
Yeah,
Where's
he's not.
where's the charitable component if he does it?
Well, let him contact St. Jude's and work all that out.
I'll talk to Christian and find out how we hold physically. I guess he could put the title. I'd be more comfortable doing a pledge agreement where I'm holding the title in escrow like we do for banks. We'll hold the original title. And arguably we can even put a lien on title, but there's ways to secure that title will be transferred. That's one thing. Possession of the car is another. So he gives us the title, I have it, and I'm ready to turn it over to the winner. And then Christian says, I don't want to give up the car. Because possession, I can't put the car in a lockbox or safe. So I'll talk to him about going forward on that. Otherwise, I think it's a great, like I said, it's distinguishing what we're doing beyond, our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday rides type of thing. Okay, so Marvin, Marvin, what you've done so far, if you can still call St. Jude's or you want to look into that, that'd be
Yep.
great. I'll get Christian. I didn't send Christian the link for this meeting. That's my fault. And I also didn't send it to Kevin Abadi. And again, I probably should have.
I'll see about St. Jude's, with him running it directly through them and us just doing the QR code.
Hey, Mike, so I had a question on that before we move off that topic. Since we have the social on the 27th, do we want to do anything with promoting ticket sales for this on the 27th? Otherwise, I would look for another. I'm trying to look at different organizations that we can support, like we had the food bank, in the holiday time.
Yeah.
I'm looking at an animal shelter, the one in Boca, coming in and just different.
I think we have time. I wouldn't advertise it just yet on come to the ride and eat on the 27th because we're going to have the car there and all that. I mean, let's nail this title issue down. And the liability of delivering the vehicle. I
And how
don't,
much we expect to raise as opposed to the value of the car.
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention. I'm watching Joe's, screen. There's something happening behind him.
Yeah,
I'm
we've
sorry,
been
I
watch-
was paying attention. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, watching my grandson and granddaughter for the day.
No, I like the action behind you. Because I don't know if you can see it.
I see the
Um,
window, but
okay, so.
You have a fire extinguisher, Joe?
All right, so yeah, I'll talk to Christian. Marvin, you'll talk to St. Jude, and then Nell, I'll get back to you. And Monica, I guess I'll get back to you and say, yeah, we're gonna do this, or we're just not gonna do it. Once it's organized properly, I don't think it's gonna be that difficult. The problem is our club is gonna raise $5,000 and he's got a $20,000 car. It's not
Right.
what he intended.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see our club raising 20 grand, frankly.
He said it was 25, I thought, so that's my.
25, yeah. Well,
Well,
He
that's
That's a
thinks
lot
he's
of
gonna
money,
raise
right?
more
You
than
gotta
that.
look at seeing what's his
he
minimum.
thinks, yeah, well, if he jumps in and he knows his target audience, we don't even have a target audience who wants a 1958 Ford. I don't want one. I mean, I'm gonna buy the raffle ticket, but where am I gonna put it?
I missed the meeting, so what's our take on this? And how does
None.
that,
Doesn't
We don't get
benefit
any
us
money
except
on
by
it.
exposure, just exposure. That's, yeah, another concern.
a lot of
We
work
don't-
for exposure,
Right.
something that's it's out of our lane as far as, the community. I mean, for certain organizations it might work. I don't see it working for our organization.
Well, we raise money for MS and Dolphin Challenge Cancer and all that.
That's
So,
a whole, but that's a different level of, that's just raising money.
yeah, we do that. And that's what this is. He wanted to give it to St. Jude's. It's a good cause.
I'm
It
just
meets
curious.
our,
Hey, Mike, can I ask a quick question? I'm just curious why
Yeah.
he hasn't like just directly reached out to St. Jude, because they've
Yeah.
got so many avenues for those types of things. I'm curious, if I would just be, it'd be worth the conversation, to ask him, hey, have you thought about reaching out to St. Jude directly with your vehicle to sell it at one of their, I mean, St. Jude does all sorts
no,
of.
he could do, they can do that.
Yeah.
These charities, they'll take cars or whatever. He
Right.
wanted to do it for the club. He says, hey, you guys he thinks it's got, and I agree with him. You're gonna bring this classic car to your rides. People are gonna gather around and look at it. It's a cool looking car in the pictures. Um, you know, it's our club doing something different than just meeting at the Spanish River and going on a ride. Um, and at the end of the day, the money we do from these rides and selling tickets would go to St. Jude. And it would be over a series of months. But we're not getting this. Peter brought this up too at the last meeting, you know, and I thought about, well, why don't we keep X amount of dollars for our club? I don't,
You can't.
and then we decide who gets it. The conclusion at the meeting, Joe, is that we would we would just have the event, our regular rides, the car would be there, people would buy tickets, whatever we raise goes to St. Jude's. That was it. Seemed pretty simple, and we'd sell 5 tickets for $100. But and it seemed pretty. I mean, Marvin found the information on St. Jude's. I looked at the law, the requirements. Marvin got the link for the online donations, which unfortunately the VIG from the company that raises the money, what was it, Marvin? 12%?
Uh,
It was high.
yeah, it's all on, it's all, they don't make any money. It's totally, for free.
Yeah, what so
So they add
they're
on about 12%.
yeah, so you donate $100, only 88 gets to the charity, and the club gets none of that. We would give all of that to St. Jude. it just like we would do a ride, a fundraising ride or something, and here's your money. So I don't have a problem with that, but let's check before you make any announcements, Monica, that we're gonna sell raffle tickets at the Ride and Eat, or the car will be at the Ride and Eat. We gotta clarify with Christian
Yep.
how this is all gonna work and get some sort of a legal pledge that he has to give that car up. Otherwise, we're stuck in the middle for doing a lot of stuff that doesn't
Site
put money
gets
in our club.
17%.
17%?
Yep.
That's a
So,
lot.
yep,
I, yeah.
they're
this is-
saying they're the only ones, that do it that way.
Yeah, so for every $100,
Up to 10% of your gift is used to cover fees. We choose to fundraise on Zeffy to receive 100% of your gift.
yeah, and then when we do these disclosures, that's probably on the website. Some people who actually read it might say too much money's going to the
That's a lot of
the,
money.
I checked
yeah,
all
it
of
is
them
high.
though. It's most of the cheapest was like $12. I mean, 12%.
Yeah, because
I have I need to go. I'm sorry. It's
Alright.
at 1 o'clock, but
as soon as Nell's gone, we're gonna do the raffle. We're gonna vote yes raffle. And no, I'm just kidding. So I'll get back to you now, and I'll send you the emails if we're gonna
Alright.
go forward.
Okay.
And Ira, the accountant.
all
And
right.
you'll file Sunbiz this week?
I'm
The
sorry.
Sunbiz, are you gonna do the Sunbiz report?
Yes, I'll get that
Okay.
taken care of this week. Thank you.
Thanks. See you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Okay, so it's getting to 1 o'clock. So Marvin, I'm gonna move on from that. Anything else about Webmaster? No?
Just that selling the site, I mean, the selling the club, if you think about it, that's where I want to do some sort of ad or right on the site. Just the discounts that we get from the Spanish River Ride, the Burger Fondo, and the Frank Dark Ride, that's $30 right there about. Plus they get the dinner and all the socials and the ride meets. So I'm just saying, listed on the site.
I
Getting
agree
a
with
lot
that.
for their money.
I agree with that. I do. I haven't heard it lately, but when I got on the board, a lot of guys like, "Well, what do you get for your money?" And dues were free at that time, but it's hard to, I think now people are seeing it. They're seeing some results.
Oh,
So yeah, post that on the site unless anyone has an objection.
And one other thing, Eileen's group, the slower group, they're running a travel trip to Naples, 3 days.
Post
So
it.
I may get, I don't know if she wants the other faster groups going too, but I'll
Yeah, I
get
haven't heard from her this year.
I'll get all the routes that they use, and maybe the rest of the club wants to go a different time.
Thanks.
But I'll post it. I think it's March 11th through 13th, but they do like 14 to 16 miles an hour.
Okay.
Well, I got
Anything else? Okay. So I don't have anything special to report that you haven't seen. I'll just summarize. Robert Duquette suggested we do a resolution. You guys all approved it, and we got some good feedback from DOT. I've heard nothing from the town. You all see the positive and negative reporting from these online blogs or the Sun Sentinel. I think this morning even WPTV had a little segment about sharing the road on their news last night or this morning, someone told me. So there is a lot of awareness about cycling, and we've been part of that. One, because some of you knew or came upon those riders last week, or our resolution got out there. I heard from Kevin Abate this week, and he put together some materials about the Boca Raton Racing Series, which starts in April. And there were people who weren't affiliated with our club that asked how to join the club. again, I'm only talking about 3 or 4 people, but that's hopefully what we can do. And I'd like to get people who aren't on the board, just members, to come out and help. Even if they come to the rides, if we're selling raffle tickets, they sell raffle tickets, or we have our membership cards, they sign up some members. Because the racers, they'll have their family, they bring their kids, their wives, their husbands. And those non-racers, they want to ride, but they don't know where to ride because they can't keep up. So I was happy that Kevin is promoting that already, and we got positive feedback. Kevin also reserved on the United States Cycling Federation calendar. He reserved his dates for Burger Fondo and Frank Stark in July. I'm not sure exactly what date. So he asked me, are we going to support these rides? Last year, I think we gave like 200. I don't know if we gave money to Burger Fondo. We gave volunteers. So I'd like to report back to him that we will support Burger Fondo in some fashion. We get a table, and maybe there'll be a couple volunteers to help out. And then Frank Stark, I think we should do what we did last year. I don't think we have to give him money up front. If we do, it should be a very small amount, maybe $1,000, just seed money, so he can get some materials out. I think we probably gave him too much. Oh, we didn't give him too much. We got some money back, and we've learned where we lost money and where we made money. So for those of you who want ice cream, it's probably not going to happen unless somebody goes to Costco and buys, ice cream cups for 50 cents a piece and hands them out. So you guys all in favor of that? I can talk to Kevin and start putting together a plan, Burger Fondo and Frank Stark. Or do you, I think we still have a quorum. Did Joe leave?
Yes.
So maybe we don't have a quorum. But for those of you on here, is there any reason not to do Frank Stark again? I thought it worked out fine.
Yeah.
I'd like to change the venue. I like being at a bike shop. But I think we'd get more people or more attention if we left from like FAU Stadium or somewhere a little more visible. But Kevin's really, I'll talk to Kevin about that. And Burger Fondo, we didn't do anything. I just don't remember if we gave money. I'll ask Nell, or maybe I'll look back at the old reports. Do you guys remember if we gave any donation?
He gave us a 25% discount to members.
Yeah, he gave us a discount, and we had I know Robert volunteered. We had some ride marshals that volunteered to help Kevin, and Kevin gave us a table. I don't think we need to give him any money for that. But if we get we've got 180 paid people, I guess, families. So that helps him out. Just our club alone, he would make plenty of, he'd fill the slots. Our club alone, though, I think last year, Burger Fondo, we might have had 20 people. Maybe close to 30, I think about, but they were kind of scattered. All right, I'm doing all the talking here, so let's go back to the agenda. Raffle we talked about. Charity rides. I saw Stu Borys doing Dolphin Challenge, which surprised me because it's a road ride. But if anybody wants to do those rides, and Marvin, I think you already have them on the calendar.
Yep.
You have Dolphins Challenge?
Yep.
Do you have the MS ride posted?
Yes.
Okay, so that's covered. I was hoping maybe we'd get like a ride coordinator or ride leader. Bruce, do you keep in touch with Stuart regularly, or
Stu Borey?
Yeah,
Not really.
yeah,
But,
it's like me. I mean, I could text him, maybe say, would he wanna be our, people have questions about the ride, or he'll get our club members to go with him, and that's that, like the ride leader.
You're talking about the Dolphins Challenge?
Yeah,
I
yeah, because
think
he's,
Bruce Clipson is, the marshal, I believe.
yeah, but
he's
he's a
not
marshal.
marshaling this year.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
he's not? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
somebody asked him this morning and he said no, so.
So maybe he'll put together, even if it's just, 10 riders that want to do it, talk to Bruce and travel with Bruce or train with Bruce, that kind of thing. Um, Fundraising, we don't have any ideas. The raffle is not for us, which is a drawback. And Joe's right. If we got to spend all this manpower, um, we get nothing out of it, other than we were the club that had the car raffle. But if you
I don't
guys
see
have any
the,
fun,
yeah, I don't see who that's gonna be directed at. If we were raffling off a classic bicycle, maybe, but car, I don't know.
do you have room to park the car if you win, Bruce?
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't, I
I
don't know
don't
what
know.
I
I
would do
think
with
I
the
got
car.
neighbors who are car, or car people, but I mean, it's, I still think, I know, Mike, I talked about doing this last year, and I don't know that I ever really finished it, was really going through and getting our, definition of each level of sponsorship and what you get for that. I know we had like a rough draft of it out, but if we
Yeah.
really made a glossy of that kind of thing, and we made some effort as a board, team members, to get out around to different businesses and things, that might be, a worthwhile effort for getting sponsors.
Yeah, it is.
More of a pressed,
Um,
focused effort on it.
kind of like what Boca Tri does. They put out it. We don't need a jersey. We can do a T-shirt, and our website trailer, or on our messaging and on the site.
Yep.
Um, boy, I mean, there's people out there, like even today, Fran Knockless, her husband is the doctor who sponsors Boca Tri. She joined our website today, and she was the one, Bruce,
Yeah, I know Fran.
yeah, I think you were talking. So,
I know her husband.
yeah, so those are people, Monica, you could probably call and say, can you send us $500? It's like, here, take it. Mark Whitger's the same way. He goes 500. The one
Can you send-
targeting that was good, and we even had kind of a prototype jersey, was to say, okay, we're going to do martial training. But I gave up because I didn't see we had about 20 people said they wanted to do it, but Florida Bicycle Association wasn't all that cooperative, and they're hard to reach, by the way. They don't return calls from their voicemail. And then paying for a venue was tricky. But anyway, there's a lot of ideas there. So I like the idea, but we need people to step up and say, okay, I'll lead a fundraising committee. Maybe I can talk to Peter about that. He always wants to do something.
A sponsorship committee, right?
Yeah, he might do that. He's got a lot of connections. All right, moving on, unless anybody else has another idea besides the just general, here's what you get to help our club this year. And maybe as tragic as it was, maybe the whole, how to make our community safer, for bike riders, maybe that has some value. Even today, when I came in, I was walking the dog, one of my neighbors who doesn't ride a bike, but he goes, hey, are you involved with with the crash that happened? So, everybody around town most people have heard about it or seen it in the
Oh,
news.
yeah. I have a friend up in Jupiter who doesn't ride, and she heard about it and asked me about it. Like, hey, were you aware of it? And I said, yeah, 'cause she was curious if I knew any, if it was our group or I knew anybody. from it.
Yeah, so there are people who say, hey, we've got to do something. Here's the local club. And they seem to know what they're doing. or at least, try. And we'll give it a shot this year. All right.
My suggestion along along those lines is let's get together names and contact information for all the clubs that we can in Palm Beach and North Broward County, and all the riding groups that we can. And did you ever see the movie Warriors?
Yeah.
All the gangs in
from
New York had a
1978.
meeting and decided
Yeah.
how they figured out how they were gonna take over New York City.
Yeah.
So if we get all our bike gangs together, um, there's a little bit of strength in numbers. I mean, we can send our resolution to Gulfstream, and I'm sure they chuckled and threw it away. But if we send something directly to DOT, they're even offering, since they've gotten some federal money, they've been asking for projects that they can you know they can foster or get into. So
Well, we should be the strongest voice in all of that.
yeah,
Um, so that is kind of happening. So Janine, Cameron from the 3R Club, it's not really a club, that's his business. Cameron, Janine from Alpha, and then have approached me to help them, because we really are we have the most money, as far as I know. We have the largest membership. I mean, Janine might have 40 or 50 people in her that she'll sell jerseys to. But, maybe on her Facebook page, she's got a few hundred. But nobody's been around as long as us. So we really are the leader. They did reach out to me, Bruce. I said, sure, we can help. And then somebody told me the camera went on the news on the Share the Road project, which might be what Janine was talking about. So we're really getting fractured on how the messaging's getting out. So I like that idea if we could get it under one umbrella, preferably. Even if it's the club identity, because Janine tried to do this safety thing again with her Be Seen kits. Those are the sleeves I wear. You see me with the bright, and that kind of fizzled out. We're always the last one standing, like those were at the end of the Warriors movie. The bad guys backed off. I think they were on the beach. They walked. But anyway, I'll again, I got a lot on my plate, but since they keep emailing me about getting it together, I'll see what they want to do. But it's going to be hard because they may say, here's what we're going to do. And the next thing you know, Janine set up a GoFundMe page. I go, well, I thought we were trying to figure out what to do. And she did it. Then, it's, which is great. And she's giving out money to the victims of that crash. And then Cameron's like, we got to do this, we got to do this. And the next thing I know, he's on TV spouting whatever's on his mind, personal agendas, not really joining. So it's getting a little fractured. And when they do that, you see what they're not prepared of what the neighbors are going to say. We know what they're going to say. That first beach meeting I went to, I was a punching bag. It was a Zoom meeting, but all they did is, why do you do this? Why can't you do this? I was a punching bag. The next meeting was very different, very receptive, because I didn't, I handled it like I was like basically like I was in the courtroom. The judge is threatening me with contempt, and I just, I kind of handled it, I thought, properly. And then the meetings that we went to, Bruce, they wanted us there. They wanted us to help. And And when that crash happened, Emily, the president of the Beach Association, emailed me that morning and was like, do you know this? What can we do? How can we help? So those, if you stay on point, that will help. Janine and Cameron, I don't know how they're, I don't know, they're split up right now. So I'll find out, because they said, let's do something together, and then they both did stuff separately.
Oh,
So I don't know how, even at today's ride, one of the guys in Flacco's group, or that mafia group, he's like, Mike, why can't just one person deal with this? I don't know what upset him about it. I don't know why he suggested that. Because I guess maybe because he's a club member. I don't know. Anyway, that's my thought. I know it's getting late for a meeting. And Joe's must be really hungry because he's gone. Anything else, guys, before I adjourn?
if there's, on that topic, Mike and Bruce, if there's anything that we want to, if there's any way we want to utilize, our clubs, our social coming up for that, conversation around safety, I don't know, something to support anything there that we can do, we can think about that. I mean, I don't know, my personal take is it's a much bigger problem in our community, the riding, this whole, these accidents that happen. But anyhow, if we've got different avenues of where we can help educate and just awareness, I don't know.
We do, and we should, frankly, we should do, even if it's the ride, if we do the ride and eat and say, this is free to you, but remember what we do for the club and keeping it safe. We'd like you to donate, make a donation. We're not going to get enough money to give to the victims. But I mean, we should do something. It's not like sending Stu a $25 Starbucks gift card. He had a bad accident. And basically that's kind of what we did, but
I mean, there's an idea. I don't know how this would play out or work or not, but organizing a ride to raise money for the victims. I don't know.
we're not going to do the Brazilian club.
Is doing
It's
that.
their group.
Yep.
They should do their ride like they did that. If they want to do a fundraising ride, Janine, what she called the Florida Cycling Family, and I'm not even clear if she's the one that set up the GoFundMe. She's told me she's in charge. So all I think we should do as a club in terms of raising money is post the link in an email to the GoFundMe page that has been set up. And I can say this is, managed by Janine Seeger, so people know where it's going. I have not donated to that because I didn't know where my money was going. I had to call or text Janine. I go, who's the Florida Cycling Family that set up this page? And she said she's the one in charge of the money. Which is still a big risk. But that's about the best I think we should be doing. It's just a lot. You just need manpower. Now, if you guys want to do it, if you go, okay, I've got, Nell, Lori, Robert, everybody, we want to do this ride. I'm not stopping you.
Yeah, personally, I'm not saying a proponent of the
Right.
ride. I'd love to see us focus our efforts going forward more on awareness and safety because it's just happening too much, right? And it's another issue.
And that's what we're doing. So I had a 40-minute meeting on the phone with Chief Hartman at Highland Beach. He called me because I guess he's getting a lot of calls from other local police chiefs. How are they going to basically keep the bikes off the road? How are they going to control us? So he was kind of giving me a warning of the sentiment. They don't want the bike riders on the road. And they're really talking about those Tuesday, Thursday, they're talking about us in a sense, like today, how many people were there today, Bruce? Like 40 at the start or more?
No, they're only about a little over 20 maybe, but we were in two groups. I mean, well,
Yes.
the group you went off with was what, about 15?
Yeah, it was big. So, so what happens is they see those big groups and the cars can't pass, even if we're single file, it's difficult. So the sentiment is they don't want the big groups on the road. They think we should all ride solo. So Hartman and I had this discussion. I said for those big groups, I'm going to suggest like on Tuesday, Thursday, maybe even the Cove, they do staggered starts, 2 minutes apart. They pick their 10 or 9 to 15 riders, not 70 riders, and they can pursue each other and see if that, how that would work. But it's like keeping dogs and cats. I mean, everyone's going to chase each other, but we're trying to come up with ideas. And yeah, that's part of safety. And when Bruce and I were at the condo meeting in November, we handed out helmets, lights, front and back lights with our logo, water bottles, 2 pairs of stolen gloves. I'll never give that up. Um, and and that they know those residents who get the messages from the association, they know we're trying to make it safe. And I talked about, the safety features we have on our expensive bikes. We don't want to get hurt. We don't want to ruin our bikes. I showed them how my Garmin radar works. I don't know if you were
Yeah.
still there, Bruce, when I was talking.
And I mean, when
So
when we are.
they were amazed. Yeah.
Yeah, but when we are, when you have the cyclists obeying the laws of the road and riding, obeying the laws of the road, I guess that's the best way to say it, right? Then, the drivers have an onus to obey the laws of the road and do their part of being a aware, safe driver, just as much as we need to be aware, safe riders. And I get the Tuesdays, you're gonna always have those crowds, you're gonna have that, but some of these accidents are like, it's not, these riders weren't, out on the road. They were riding, they were obeying the laws and riding appropriately. There's onus on it's educating the drivers, the community too, of, hey, you've got a responsibility to, learn how to.
Well, let me just say something to that. And since I think we're not a quorum anymore, this is officially not part of the meeting.
Right.
But they, in our estimation, in our view, they were riding safely, had their lights on, respectful, far to the right as they could. No bike lane, you got to ride single file.
Right.
That wouldn't have made any difference, but that's going to be one of the
Stuff
arguments.
outside. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And you're absolutely right, Bruce. And as far as this situation with this particular incident, I'm waiting to, trying to get more information from, the drivers, what happened, what's the police report, what's really happened with the driver. I know she crossed over in the other lane. There's also other speculation out there, even one of the articles that she, had a medical incident. I don't know what that medical incident was or that, but it's not getting better, right? And that's
Unfortunately, I think that the argument's going to end up coming down to, look,
I gotta run.
there's in any 20
Mark.
mile stretch of road on A1A in Palm Beach County on a Saturday, there's going to be 200 to 500 riders. We're not going anywhere. They're going to be there. You're going to have to deal with it. Right? We're legally
You've got
allowed to be
riders,
there.
You've got people walking runners. You've got people. I mean, how many times have
Right.
we gone through Gulfstream where people who run like they got to go on the grass on someone's lawn or they have to take their dog because there's no place to walk, whether we're there or not.
Right.
It's not
And the best argument for the safety of not just the cyclists, but the motorists is to give us the bike lanes.
right. Right. I agree. It's just a big, big issue.
My take on it is that this, even though, the municipalities have sway, it's a state road and it's administered. What happens there is more or less
Is that
administered by the DOT.
state? Is it by the state or is it local too, Bruce? Is that? is that stretch?
There's something of a partnership. I'm not really sure what it is, but apparently the
Yeah.
last time that that it was proposed that they put bike lanes in Gulfstream, Gulfstream nixed
Yeah, I remember
the
that.
plan. So I understand that there was an approach to a plan. I don't know if if it was fully formed and vetoed by the town. I don't know. But like I said, I can maybe find out.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, because like, yeah, I'm with you 100% on all that. We're not going anywhere, and you gotta make the road safer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not,
All right.
anyhow.
Well, thank you, everybody. We'll adjourn the meeting at 1:27. It's a long one today.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, we'll be in touch. See you on the road.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks. All right, bye.
How do I stop the recording?
Good question. I'm looking too.
I see it.
I guess you just
Stop. I
shut
got it.
stop, right?
I got it. Okay.